Hello, it's your facilitator here, Prince Kumabiu. Welcome to today's lesson. Now, discovery to know how to use Excel better and easier. So today what are we looking at? We are looking at basic formulas. So bit by bit now we can navigate around the software Excel and we have to start doing real work. Most of us, our statistics shows that we are teachers. Therefore, there is this thing that you would always do if you're a teacher or in the education field or any research field that you have to be adding. You have data to manipulate, and this lesson seeks to expose us to the basic things that we may do when data is derived. That is adding, finding average, finding the maximum value, finding the minimum value, and then those ones. So probably also ranking. So that is what this lesson is about. So I have my data here. It talks about 16 students. They have English, Maths, Integrated Science. Oh, okay. So social studies is not here. So we want to insert a column so that we can enter the details of social studies. So what we do is we want social studies to be between D and E. So if it should be between D and E, then we click or we select the whole column called E. So when I come to the E, you realize my cursor has changed. I click on it and it selects the whole column as E. You right click and we say insert, then you have it there. Now when you don't use that, when you don't use this and you want to just select this, you can select the whole from E1 to E21, right click and then say insert. Now when you bring that one, it will ask you, do you want to shift right or you want to shift down? Do you want the entire row or you want the entire column? And we say we want to shift right. So you click OK, and that's absolutely. Now we are not interested in the down because there is nothing there. So all that we are interested in. So this is quickly how you can insert a cell or a row. Thank you very much. So you write our social studies there, and you give them some marks. So we have our social studies and we want to do a little bit of calculation. Okay, so this is what Excel do or has been programmed. Our normal plus, minus, multiplication, then division. So these are the signs they use. They accept as them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and you have this 4. You are good to go. So if you want to do addition, you use this sign, the normal one you do. If you want to use subtraction, use this. Multiplication, use this. Then division, you use that. Okay. So what we want to do now is we want to add all these numbers from English to Ghanaian language. So what we do is that if you want to start a function or a formula, then we begin it with equal to. So when you type equal to, then Excel will know that you want to enter the formula or a function. Now the formula will be like, so we want to add what is here to this. Now we've selected all the 8 subjects and we say you should add. So this is a formula. When you press enter, Excel will do the addition for us. But see, we are going to select each cell. What if there are about 20 or 30 or 40 cells that we are adding up? So the other formula we can use is you quote the range. And that one will come with a function. So this one is a formula that we know, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Okay, but there is a function that will do the addition for you, and that function is called sum. So you can see sum if, some ifs, some products, some base and stuff. But right now we are looking at sum. So what are we summing? We want to sum. So when you click on the sum or you type your sum, it will pop up, which means it is part of Excel functions. You can use the tab key and it open a bracket for you, or you yourself open a bracket. Yeah, so now that we have our open bracket, then we can say number 1. So this is our number 1. Then when you give, then you go to number 2, but we don't want to pick each cell, but what you want to do is that you want to state a range. Now the subjects are starting from B to I. So what we can do is that we say B3, then we bring is 2, then we say we come and click on I3, then you realize that the whole range has been selected, then we can press enter. So these are basically 2 ways of summing up, and the one that is easier for you, you just use. So if you use either the first one or the second one, all that you need to do, we've done this yesterday, which says auto fill. So the cursor changes, you drag, and it will add all of them for you. So but this is quickly how the sum will look like. Okay, now the other thing that I want to also look at is, you want to know the biggest number. Who had the highest number in English? Who had the highest number in maths? All the subjects. Then who has the least number? Then the average. So these are the 3 things you want to look at. So now you have an idea. It's an argument. It's a formula. It's a function that we want Microsoft to do for us. So we begin with equal to. Then we say max. When you enter, it should pop up. If it doesn't pop up anything, it's not part of Excel's function library. Therefore, you can't use it. In advance, you can state your own, you can make your own function there, but we are not there yet, so we just go with that. So we said you need an open bracket for all functions. So max, then you press our tab key, we get number 1. So with the same thing we did, we click on the first one, we bring is 2, then we click the last one, and we say enter. Now when you watch through, you realize that the biggest number is 93, which is this Evans. So you don't need to go through and be searching which one is. No. You just give this command and you are good to go. So the second, so we've been able to find the maximum value. We also want to look at the minimum value. So we say equal to mini. Now we saw the mini, so it means it's part of Excel's library, the functions library. We click on B, then we say is 2, then B17. Select. So the least number is 17. Then the last one, we say average. Now since we have average, we also go to the same thing. We say B2 to B17. You press enter, and this is giving us the average score of the subject. So English, the average is around 54.43, but the highest was 90. So you see, this gives you a quick overview of whatever test you conducted, and you'll be able to determine whether you really taught well or not. So it will help us as teachers, it will help us as data collectors, as church workers and other things. So if you want to look at the highest sales you made, the lowest sales, you look at the item and say, oh okay, so this item you don't really buy, then you revise how when you go to them you bring less because they don't really buy them much. Alright, now that we've been able to do this 1, 2, 3, our autofill option will help us to get this through. So we drag, but you realize that our formatting is changing, so we say without formatting. Without formatting. And this one we have. So 99, 98, 98, 98, 98, 97, 90. Then the total actually 800. We are having the maximum, the one who had the maximum to be 532. So you see, this gives you quick overview of whatever you are doing. So this is the maximum. Then the minimum also we drag, and we come and select and say without format, like keep our formatting. Average we also drag and say without format. So basically this is what we have. So you don't really work much when you're using Excel. You do just one thing, it looks at what you've done, then repeats those actions for you. You don't repeat them yourself. So basically that is what you're looking at. Maybe our average is 4 decimal places. We want to decrease it, and we learned this also the last time. We will go to our numbers, and we have increased decimal, decreased decimal. So we click on decreased decimal, and Excel will do the rounding up for us. So we can see we want whole numbers to no decimal place. Press enter, and we are good. So this is the formulas we need, especially in our field as workers. We need a maximum, minimum, average, then the sum. But these are the biggest. Sometimes you will need more. The other thing I want to look at is finding or ranking your students. It has been one of the difficult work that teachers do. If you are not fortunate, you have about 60, 70 students in your class, and they write exams, you have to rank them from first to the last. And so you see teachers writing all the marks on a sheet of paper, then be cancelling first, then write second. Even with the cancelling, you finish and you realize there's left service inside. That is why Excel is here. That is why I have taken this pains to also help all of us to get this particular concept. So what do? We want to know who is first, who is last, and then now if you want to rank, then what we need is the people that we are ranking, or the number of items you are ranking. That is one. Then the two, the very person you want to compare his or her marks to the others. So then also, do you want to rank it up or down? That is ascending or descending order. So when you start our formula, you will need the one you want to compare, the total range that we are looking at, then whether ascending or descending. So we write equal to, then we see rank. Excel will give us, you choose the third one as rank, press tab, then it opens the bracket, you say number. So what is the reference? Our reference, we don't want to use the numbers because the numbers may change along the way. So we want to use the reference, which is J2. Okay, then when you do comma, it's now saying ref. What is the range? So J2 in J2 to J17. Then so the ascending or descending will come for you. 0 means descending, so from the biggest to the smallest. The 1 means from the smallest to the biggest. So we want, most of the time it's a bigger one we claim is first, so it will be descending because biggest going down. So we either press 0 and then you say okay. So this is what we have. So this 480 is fifth. Now when you drag, something is happening. Let's watch. Now 532 is first because that was what came up as the maximum value. Okay, it's correct. Now 463 is also saying is fifth, which is not possible. Please, are you getting it? And let's come down here too. We have 509 as second, then we have 452 also as second. Meanwhile, somebody had 463, we said the person is fifth. So there's something wrong with our formula. Let's watch what we have here. Hey, and the reference has gone down. So we said that autofill picks what's up, then bring them down. So what we said here was that you should pick J2, then compare it from J2 to J17. So if you move to the second one, then it means we are picking J3, then comparing J3, comparing it to the range of J3 to J18. I think it's logical, the scenario is used, but it is not correct for us because our range should not change. Our range should be the same whilst we can compare. So we have to do something to our formula. Yes, we have to do something to our formula. What can we do? Now we have to restrict this J2 to J17 from changing. We click on J2, then we press F4, and when you press F4, what happens? You see dollar sign in front of J, then dollar sign in front of 2, which means J2 will not change even if you want to do autofill. Please, are you okay? Okay, so let's look at this, then we come back. So we, on the first one, then we drag for autofill, and let's see whether it's really happened. So the one that has dollar sign did not change. J2 is there, but the J17 has now turned to J18. So it will go to J19, J20, then whatever. But that's not what you want. So we come back, and we also restrict the J17 with a dollar sign. So if your dollar sign is not working, you can type the dollar with shift 4, then you get it. Or you look at your number keys, which one is the dollar, then you put in like that. So assuming my F4 is not working, you just shift dollar, then shift dollar. That is all. Press enter. After that, we can drag, and you realize some of the values has changed. So if you do them well, this is what you should have. This is what you should have. Thank you very much for today, and I think the little I've given you, you can use Excel with confidence now. You can open and try to do something yourself.